Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming to you with a video. Want to talk about business trade lines and do they have a place? So why do I want to talk about this topic? Because um, I have over 400 videos on this channel talking about personal and business credit. So I do get a lot of people who come to me with the want and need to get access to funding. And although I understand it, depending on where you are in your business, you know, no one would, of course, turn away capital that they can use for their business. So, with that being said, business trade lines, do they have a place? Now let me clarify what business trade lines are. Now, business trade lines are net 30 accounts that you get solely for your business. And there's a ton of content here on YouTube as well as other platforms where they're telling you about the Dun and Bradstreet number. They're telling you about the vendor trade lines that you can get with Uline, Quill, Granger, some gas cards. And then people start to tell you about the accelerated ladder that you will go up to be able to get business credit. And what are my thoughts on that? It really depends on what it is that you want. What a lot of people don't understand is that everybody's business is different. There may be certain types of businesses where a person may need access to vendor trade lines. Every business is not the same. What I found is that people really don't want the vendor trade lines. They think that is the precursor to what it is they really want. And what is what they really want? They really want access to cash and credit lines, whether they're in the form of credit cards, term loans, lines of credit. That's really what individuals want. But they have been persuaded and almost fooled to believe that in order for me to get access to this, which is the cash and credit trade lines, I got to do this with the business trade lines. And what I really want to bring home with this video is that is misinformation. Now, do it have a place? It does have a place. But what people have to realize, and this is what is missing in the marketplace, and this is what I help people with, is really understanding the playbook that's available to you so you can position yourself and understand what it is that the lender offers and compare it to what it is that you want. And then once you know that, then you know that there's a certain conversation that you can have with a lender. Because 90% of the people who come to me are not lending ready. What do I mean by that? Most people who come to me are like, I just want access to lending. I just want access to funding. And at the end of the day, they're not in position to get it. Now, I've said this time and time again. You can get a credit card for yourself. You can go online, do a Google search, business credit card, and you can find a whole web page on different types of credit cards. You pick based on whatever works for you in regards to your credit, in regards to interest rate, interest in regards to the particular lender. It is up to you. But understanding, when I say the playbook, what people need to understand is that one, they don't know the particular lending that is out in the marketplace. And if you don't know the lending that's out in the marketplace, then you don't know that there may be a particular funding avenue that may work for you. Let me give you an example. One of the biggest things that people do is they spend a lot of time building business trade lines, and it's always something's missing. I never have met a person who has the perfect trifecta: built business trade lines, have good personal credit, and also have business revenue that is $10,000 or more being generated from their business. Why am I using the 10,000 gauge? Because for those people, you have a lot of people who said, I want to solely get access to lending by my business alone, but I don't want it to be on my personal credit. Let me share with you what the gurus are not telling you when it comes to business trade lines. Business trade lines have its place. Yes, it does. But in order for you to really just be able to get business funding solely on the strength of your business, you don't want to leverage your personal credit, even though I'm an advocate of leveraging your personal credit, because that can be a tool for you to catapult yourself in your business. But let's not even talk about that, because I understand people like, nope, don't want to use my personal credit, even though my personal credit is good. I got it. I understand it. I get it. You just want to be able to get business credit. Well, let me tell you what it is that the gurus aren't telling you. When you want to couple your business trade lines that you have built up yourself, that you are proud that you have built, but you are lacking the business revenue that you can actually show, because understand, we are in a different climate. We're in a different climate. Are lenders still lending? Yes, they are. But understand, we are now currently in a pandemic. Lenders are still lending. But if you think that you're going to get access to money and you're not going to show a business bank statement that shows that you are consistently bringing in revenue for $10,000 or more a month, or maybe show tax returns, the chances of you getting the lending is going to be slim to none. I'm going to even be bold enough to say you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Or will you get like a credit card that you can pretty much get yourself? Yeah, you can get a credit card. But for those people who saying, I want $100,000, $200,000 in business funding, and they ain't even bringing in $2,000 into their business, but they got strong trade lines, vendor trade lines. But in all actuality, what they're really trying to do is they want to get access to cash and credit trade lines. And understand, there is a strategy and a method that you have to put in place to be able to get access to that. And that is what I teach people. But what happens is that people are looking for the magic pill. I just want the funding. I just want the funding. And you're not in a position to get the funding. I tell people all the time, because people always say, well, why do I need the consulting? Why do I need the consulting? Because what you don't understand is that lenders are not in the business of telling you and really thoroughly going over why it is that you're not getting the funding that you want. That's not their business. So that's why you have a lot of people out here of personal credit good, And I'm talking about solid credit, not someone who went and got a credit sweep and now they 700. I mean, in terms of they got age to their credit report, they got, they got trade lines that are reporting. They have healthy credit, and they're unable to figure out how this business funding puzzle works. They're unable to figure it out. And so if you saw the beginning part of this video, just a few minutes ago, I have explained to you what's the missing piece. What's the missing piece? And that's the part that people don't understand. I'm going to give you an example, and then after that I'm going to wrap this video up. Recently, not too long ago, I've learned about and it was the proper terminology. It's called non-QM loans, and they're common in the mortgage industry. So a lot of people don't talk about non-QM loans and using that terminology, non-QM loans. And I'm not going to go into it. This is not a mortgage video. And the place that and the role that they play. The role that non-QM loans play is that they are loans that are for self-employed individuals, because those self-employed individuals are not, their financials are not cut and dry like a person with a W-2, meaning that a person with a W-2, they can verify their job, they can verify what they reported to the government, and they can report, and they can also verify through tax returns. With non-qualified mortgages, the way to be able to qualify a self-employed individual is different. And so if you don't know, if you are a self-employed person and you are trying to get a mortgage, you may not know that non-QM loans even exist. Now, I know you may be wondering, okay, Loretta, I thought you were talking about business funding. Why are you talking about non-QM loans? The point that I'm making with this is that if you're going to someone and all they do is provide lending to W-2 employees, and that's their bread and butter, and they may even offer maybe FHA and conventional loans, which of course W-2, job, tax return verifiable, that person can't even help you. But here you're talking to someone who don't have the product knowledge, don't provide the product to you, but yet and still you're looking for a mortgage. What is the point that I'm making with all that, with the non-QM loans, and what am I talking about now? Is that unless you have access to certain information and you know what's out there in the marketplace, you could position yourself different than someone who doesn't. Because the person who is self-employed and they go to a mortgage person who only does FHA conventional for people who work a job, a W-2, nothing wrong with that. The point that I'm making is that that's not the person that I need to be talking to if I'm a self-employed person looking for a mortgage. Because now when I'm in the market of looking for a mortgage and I know I'm a self-employed person, I know that I can speak and say certain things, and if that person doesn't react a certain way that I need them to react to be able to explain to me what it is that I need information for, then I already know that that person does not have what I need. How does that relate to business funding? If you do not know that there are other ways to get funding, and you're only talking to the person who's telling you about building trade lines, then what happens is that you spend a whole bunch of time, which I see on a regular basis. People spend a lot of time trying to get access to business funding, but they're only talking to someone who's teaching them an antiquated way of getting money, which a lot of times it doesn't really manifest to anything. Point that I'm making is that if you are someone, business owner, real estate and professional, of course, high income individual, someone who does have some income coming into your business, and you're looking for access to $25,000 or more in business funding. You're sick of spinning your wheels. You're really looking for the playbook. You're looking for someone to really give you the game plan, the blueprint to help you to get the funding that you want. I want you to go to bizcredit.yourmoneymentor.com. There you'll find 45-minute video, webinar, I guess you can say, explaining to you how funding works. And then you will also have the invitation to book a session with me, and so we can talk and we can get you the funding that you want, even in the time of a pandemic. But understand there are rules to the engagement. A lot of people don't know the rules. What they think they know the rules because they've watched a few videos. But if you've watched the beginning, just the last 10 minutes where I talked to you about non-QM loans and how that would relate to business funding, then you'll definitely want to reach out to me, because understand there's a lot more to this funding puzzle that a lot of people don't know. And what I find is that a lot of people are spinning their wheels. They do not know. And if you want help, just reach out to me. So once again, go to bizcredit.yourmoneymentor.com. Information will be below this video. Talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.